What's up, everybody, and welcome back to Dead Noise. I'm Chris, and with me today, thanks to the power of Zoom, is the local North Carolina legend itself, To Begin Anew. How you guys doing?
Hello.
Hello.
Thanks for having us, bro. I think you totally oversold that by using the word legend. So we will correct that at a later date and time.
Listen, we have the one and only Mr. Jim Hetfield with us. So,
Bro, it's too soon. We're not even 15 seconds into this thing, dude.
I had to. I had to get it out the way, get it out of my system. You know how it is.
Like we didn't notice that you had momentum back there next to your Metallica album.
Okay, but tell me that's not the perfect back-to-back, is it not?
It
I
is.
mean, I'll allow it. I'll allow it.
Oh
You
my
ain't got a
gosh.
choice.
You're going to have to because it's already there.
Yeah.
True.
What are you going to do about it?
They complement each other well.
Oh yeah. Well, especially with the new stuff you've been putting out, but we'll get to that in a minute. So last time we spoke on camera was at Gym Fest back in January. You guys were just coming back from a hiatus. You were looking for a bass player going as a three-piece band. You released the new single at the time, This Is War, and now 8, 9 months later, you have a bass player. You have another new single. You've been playing a bunch of shows. You've got even more new songs in the works. So, from your perspective, what has this year been like for you guys?
Oh man, it's been a super interesting year. Big shout out. You mentioned whenever we come back played Gym Fest. Big shout out to Blake Matthews, who stepped up and played bass for us that night.
Mhm.
Blake
our
Matthews,
producer.
yeah, Blake Matthews is our producer. That's where we go to get all of our music recorded. So if anybody's looking for somewhere to go, I will strongly encourage you to reach out to Blake Matthews at Clarity Audio Productions. But in regards to the year, I mean, hell, man, it's been a hell of a year. We've been grinding super hard.
Absolute madness.
Yeah, it's been pretty wild. We got Macon back on board. He's adjusted well to being back in the band, and we were graced with the presence of Mr. John Kennedy. We had some conversations about like you mentioned, we were looking for a bass player, and it was cool how it happened because John, formerly of Defile the Crown, he was the singer with Defile the Crown, and me and John used to work out quite a bit together before our schedules started conflicting outside of the band stuff. But John just approached me and Casey one day and was like, "Hey, I want to play bass with you guys." And I was like, "Okay, well, I have questions for one."
Was it I want to, or hey guys, I'm going to play bass with you guys?
It was kind of that. Yeah, it was kind of that. And we're like, John, we didn't know you knew how to play bass. And he was like, I really don't, but you're going to teach me. And it's kind of what happened. And honestly, man, he took about a horns and he took off with it. John's been a great asset for the band, not only just catching on super fast, learning the music, but I mean, he also brings some vocal abilities that's really complemented the band in a very good way, I think.
I think you're making him blush.
I could be nice sometimes.
So, how does it feel for you, John, to be a member of To Begin Anew now?
I've enjoyed it, man. Um, it's been a new experience for me just playing an instrument, other than fucking singing for the last 15 fucking years of my life. Um, and it's been nice actually playing in a band with some dudes that I grew up with, that I never actually got the chance to play music with when I was in high school. Macon was not even born yet.
A fetus.
You motherfucker, you weren't even a fetus.
You weren't
Bro,
even
that's
a
your
thought.
that's your new stage name, the Fetus.
I'm changing it in the chat right now.
There it is.
No, man, just a little nugget of information for people that don't know it. Me, Casey, and John all went to school together. We graduated high school about the same time, a few years apart. But I mean, we've known each other since we were kids, man. And like John said, we've all played music, in each other's community, but we've never. Me and Casey's always usually been a package deal. If he's doing something, a lot of times I'm affiliated. There's been a few times Casey's kind of went out. And
I'll
done
say
something.
it's the other way around. If you're doing something, I'm affiliated.
Yeah, okay. Excuse me, sir.
Whoa.
But yeah, John kind of was pursuing his own thing, and we were kind of doing our own thing. And John always was looking for a situation where he could kind of get with us and kind of create something. Us OGs that went to school together, and the opportunity presented itself, and fast forward a few months and here we are.
Yeah, I think that's great because I was a fan of John with his work with Defile the Crown. So to see both of them kind of come together has been really cool to see. And I think, like you said, as a bass player, he's taken the role perfectly. He's fit in really well with you guys in the dynamic of everything. So as a fan, it's great to see, and I really like how it translates over.
It's always cool, man. You know, like I'm a lot of times it's hard for me to really I've got certain pockets of our set where I can kind of get a little bit more energetic, but whenever, you know, I'm focused on playing guitar and singing, and I can only do so much energy wise in that spot. But whenever I've got a break and I can kind of step away, and I look at John, he's over there like giving the stage hell. I was like, okay, I got to catch up. So I'll find my little pockets and I'll do my thing, and then the next day my neck instantly regrets it. But yeah, I mean, we've got a super cool dynamic. You know, John brings a lot to the table. I can say, not just his playing abilities, his willingness to learn, contributions to vocals, but I mean, he's also bringing in you know, lyrics and stuff. This is a new chapter for us where I always try to tell people about like our writing. I usually write like really basic stuff as far as like rhythm sections of songs, and I usually will write a chorus and then I'll kind of build the song around the chorus. But like this go around, it's been a lot different. You know, I've always been a little, I guess, self-conscious whenever it comes to writing songs. I kind of got to be in a certain mindset to kind of get to that place. You know, I'll just be noodling around on guitar and I'll strike an emotion or I'll strike a chord that kind of resonates with me. And I'll kind of build upon that. But since all four of us has gotten a lineup, man, there's been a lot more like exposure, kind of exposing myself to them, and I kind of feel like it's brought back. But we're writing a lot together, where we're actually, you know, in a room together, like bouncing ideas off of each other instead of it's been nice for me to be so comfortable to be able to kind of build these things. You have to excuse my immature band members. I'm trying to give you like a really good answer. They're laughing because I said the word exposed.
No, you probably shouldn't tell people you expose yourself to us.
Well, I mean, they probably already know that I do that, but yeah, man, it's just this chapter's been really, it's been really nice, and it's been welcome for me because I mean, it just kind of gives me a chance to kind of explore more options as a songwriter, you know?
I'll say it's changed our sound a lot because we pulled you out of that little like secret of writing, and we're like, nah, you come here, we're gonna start writing this, and you figure out what to do.
And you know, we've kind of followed suit with kind of what our plan was from day one. And I think me and you have mentioned this in the past, Chris, but we kind of we're at the point now where we wanted to be like 3 years ago. You know, we kind of wanted to have a softer approach kind of coming in and kind of just get our toes wet with our music content, try to just get something relatable, something that people kind of resonate with, whether they like metal or rock or, you know, alternative rock, or, you know, we kind of had a good little medium ground. But now we had said we wanted to get a little heavier and just kind of explore that side of things. And we're to that point now, but it's nice to be able to explore that and be able to write some of our heavier stuff that we have. But we're also comfortable enough where we can, if we're like, hey, let's do like a radio jam, you know, something that could be played on the radio, we can go back to that pretty comfortably. You know, what our stuff's really dynamic and it's diverse, and that's one thing I really enjoy about being a part of this band.
Kind of follows the times too.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we talked about that at the Red show last Wednesday after you guys got off stage, and how diverse your sound has gotten, because you played some new songs that have yet to be released. Spoiler alert for anyone who wasn't there, but some of those songs were the heaviest I've ever heard from you guys. And as someone who likes all aspects of hard rock and heavy metal, I love the radio friendly stuff. I love the stuff that makes me want to run through a wall. Like, it's to go from Break New Ground, which is perfect for Octane, to Bones, which makes me want to just go insane. It's a really cool dichotomy between the two, and the fact that you guys as one unit are able to pull that off is incredible.
And see, that's one cool thing too. And you know, I'm speaking like this is something that's like new, but I mean, there's tons of bands who do it. But it's been really cool. Like, for instance, you were talking about Bones. You know, that's one of our newer songs that we've done. One that we've been writing with this writing session that we have. But I mean, a bunch of that was, you know, me and Macon actually wrote a bunch of that song. And, you know, I had parts wrote for other ideas and he had parts wrote for other ideas. And we're kind of like, well, hey, you know, let's do this here, you know, and kind of moving our songs and kind of blending them into one. And then we're like, okay, well, this works. it's just like I've never really experienced doing stuff like that with other musicians. And I think a lot of that, again, that's just the insecurity in myself. I mean, if somebody has ideas, I'm always welcome to ideas, but I would usually try to come up with everything as just like a basic concept and say, okay, guys, let's build off of this. And then that's what we would do. But now we're kind of getting to the point where we're all kind of throwing down our own little individual puzzle pieces and trying to make them fit. And it's been something new for me. So it's been exciting.
Oh yeah. And to that point, I think we talked about this in our last interview about the writing process. Some of you guys bring certain things to the fold, but from a lyrical standpoint, do you take that on yourself, Cody, or do other members of the bands help you fill in those gaps?
Honestly, it's a little bit of everything. I think I'd like to get Macon's point on this as far as lyrical content goes.
I think you write most of the lyrics.
I don't know, man. John started bringing some, and didn't you bring some?
No, I can't write lyrics.
Okay,
but no, that's what I was getting to. Like, for the most part, most of the songs you hear right now, really all the songs you hear right now that are out, Cody's wrote lyrics to. But songs that we're working on, John has been bringing lyrics to the table. And I think, weren't we planning on getting together and like having like the three of us just kind of sitting in a room and
the string section was again part of our writing process. We've got a bunch of stuff on our agenda that we're trying to do, but I mean, John's constantly sending me like lyrics and stuff, and it's really nice because again, it feels like it takes a little bit of pressure off of me. But I mean, me and Macon's had a few sessions where we've just sat in this room that we're in now and just hooked up to a DAW and just riffed out and just like pieced together stuff. And I mean, we're sitting on a pile of songs right now that's not even done. And John sent me tons of lyrics. And like Macon said, we've got some days coming up soon that we're all going to kind of just lock ourselves in this room and just start trying to force puzzle pieces together. And just, I'm interested to see where it goes because, like I said, this is new for all of us. We've never really been in that situation individually or in bands. So just to see what we can create, having all of us in a room together, I'm really excited about it. But I mean, we're sitting, not bragging, but we're sitting on a ton of material right now. And it's nice to not have that pressure. Be like, we got to write. I mean, we got a lot of new stuff done, but we got a lot of new stuff that we haven't touched yet. So I mean, this year's been really fun, but we're really excited for next year too. Just because I mean, just to see where it's going to go with what we have right now.
That's awesome to hear. And you teased some of it at the show last week, and I even went up to you. I was like, when is this stuff going to be out officially? So I can't wait for that. So with what you guys just said, I have a question for John. Since you've been presenting a lot of lyrical ideas, where do you get your lyrical inspiration from in comparison to the way Cody writes?
The way that I write is I write what I feel like. If I'm going through a tough time, if I'm whatever I'm dealing with, I just kind of jot down my feelings. It could be poetry, it could be just random things that I'm going through throughout my day. It could be a tough time I'm going through. It could be a relationship. It could be anything. And then I may go back and just turn it into something, or I may just, like I said, turn it into a poem. And if it ends up coming into something, I'll send it Cody's way, and he kind of just saves it and puts it on the back burner until we can get together and maybe turn it into something. I know he has his own way of kind of writing, because me and him have had a discussion about our different writing styles.
Cody doesn't write in first person.
Yeah, I mean, I'll
I write in a first person kind of style.
Right. Mm-hmm. I can kind of build off of John's response. That's probably where our writing style is different. Is that he's a little bit more spontaneous with his lyrics and stuff. Like he already knows a direction that he's going in before he even puts like pen to paper. For me, and I guess that's just with me being a guitar player first. I'll be noodling around on guitar and I'll hit a few chords that I like the progression of, or a sequence that I'll like. And I'll kind of just play it until it feels right. And I'm like, okay, well, how does that make me feel? And then I'll kind of build off of the emotion that I get from the music that I'm playing. And then that's just the way I've always been, man. I'll try to write the strongest chorus I can around like the music that I've wrote, because I know that's going to be your hook. You know, that's your more important part.
Mm-hmm.
So then I can build my verses around the story that I'm trying to tell, and I can basically turn it into a story. Like where John says sometimes he'll write poetry stuff, and then sometimes he'll just kind of free write. I'm just a sucker, and this is just how I've always been, man. I love to basically write a poem in like a musical thing. If you pay attention to 98% of the songs I've wrote, they all rhyme. It's a poem. And I like the way that it seems to me, the way I write, I like the way it flows better whenever it's got that system to it. It makes it more hooky. It makes it more memorable to me. But then with John writing the style that he does, and some of the ideas he's brought to the table is, you know, different than the way that I write. But whenever we put it in play, we're like, okay, well, that really works too. I'm not saying that my way is right or your way is wrong or vice versa. It's just I'm not used to or adapted to the way that he writes. And I think it's been beneficial to us both, because we've kind of both been teaching each other things that we're not, maybe don't have so much knowledge about or used to doing. So
it's a challenge.
Yeah. I mean, it's been really cool, man. It's been really cool.
So like when we can actually sit down in a room together, when we can actually get to writing some of the newer stuff lyrically, I'm gonna be really interested to see what we come up with when we start putting some of the lyrics that I've sent him together with some of the lyrics that he can come up with and mesh them together. I think it's gonna be really cool what we come up with.
So you've mentioned to me before how you like to take the last couple months of the year off from the stage to kind of focus on writing and recording together. What's that schedule normally like for you guys? Is it sporadic, like whenever you guys can get to it, or do you block out a week or two at a time to like get together and focus on writing?
So typically what we try to do, man, the last quarter of the year, we really try to dial back on the shows just to really open up our schedule to give us opportunity to do the things that we want to do. Because not only is it just, like I said, not only are we trying to write and record, we're also trying to do like music videos for the newer stuff, interviews like this to kind of just build us content that we don't typically get to do during the other part of the year. So it just frees up our schedule a lot by already knowing going into January 1 of whatever year, like, hey, just be expecting the last quarter, you know, last 3 months averagely is what we do. We're really going to dial back on the shows and try to shift gears and work on this. And that's one nice thing about like us already kind of getting ahead of the curve and writing new music, is that we're already working on that side of things. So it gives us opportunity to do the other things we want to do. For instance, I'll again let the cat out of the bag just a little bit. We're planning on releasing a new single soon. We're still kind of in the planning phase. What we're going to do is it's definitely either going to be at the very end of this year or at the very beginning of next year. We're just trying to see which way the tides go and what works better for us. And accompanying that single, we're actually going to shoot a video with the full new lineup as well. So we'll be releasing new single, new video, and we'll be running a campaign on that. And I have expectations that song's going to go over very well. That song's just, we've had nothing but good reaction whenever we've been playing that song live, and I'll just kind of leave it at that.
Am I allowed to guess which single it is?
You can guess, but I won't say if it's the one or not. Which one would you like it to be?
Oh my gosh. Honestly, because I just heard it for the first time last week. I really want to hear Bones in the studio setting, but what I think it's gonna be is Consume and Control. It's one of those two in my opinion.
Maybe C, maybe no. We'll see.
That's a decent guess, though. I'll give
yeah,
that's
a solid. Those are two solid candidates that I think. I think both of those songs, regardless of how they get released, I think they'll be pleasantly surprised. People who will listen to it will be pleasantly surprised, because again, that goes in like what we were talking about earlier. Both of those songs, dynamically and diversity, is different than anything else that we've done thus far. So I mean, we're just, again, it's kind of showing our growth as musicians, and it's just kind of showing that everybody's influence are kind of bleeding through, and I love them, dude. I love this band, and I love writing with this band, man, just because It's you never know what you're going to get. You could go in having me and Macon's done this. You can go in and have plans for a song to sound a certain way, and then Casey will hear it and he'll be like, "No, that's dog shit. We're going to play it this way." And then he does something.
True story.
And then he does something to it. I was like, okay, I guess I'm not singing. I guess I'm screaming on this song now. And then we do it. We're like, yeah, that's the way it should have been. So,
didn't that just happen like 2 weeks ago?
We're like, yeah, dude, this song's going to sound like Megadeth. And then Casey's like, no, it's not. No, it's not.
Thank you, Casey.
Oh,
Vocally,
you said double time that? Okay, we'll double time that.
all the gain. Vocally, when it comes to singing versus screaming, I'm always curious with vocalists, how did you learn to scream? Like, what's your technique, and is it something that you enjoy doing? Because I know some people do it because they have to do it. So how do you feel about it?
I think this actually might be an interesting question for all of us to give our own response on, because I don't know if you've seen us, man, but everybody at the table here, everybody in the band contributes vocally,
yep.
Which is really cool. You know, I've never been in that situation, but to answer your question, lack of a better term, the band I was in at the time wanted to do more screaming, and I had never really done a lot of screaming. So I almost, in a sense, was kind of forced into doing it. But I wanted to make sure I knew it's just like anything else you do with your vocals. You know, if it's something that you don't learn how to do correctly, and you do it wrong for so long, you could mess yourself up. And I didn't want that to happen. I've always been a singer first and a screamer second. But whenever I got into screaming, I think it probably shows in the way that I scream. I was more into like those like late 2000 metalcore bands, like Bullet for My Valentine, stuff like Blessed to Fall. I love the screams in Blessed to Fall, man. Their bass player that screams is absolutely nasty. So just those really throaty, just powerful screams is kind of what I was going for. But again, I know there's a proper ways to scream where you're supposed to use your diaphragm, and I do that sometimes, but there's also certain parts where you just kind of want that nasty gnarliness to it. And I think that's kind of where I excel at. But one thing that I've found that benefits me a lot, singing and screaming, is that every show we play, I've got about a 15-minute warm-up that I do that goes through like several octaves and several different scales that just, if I can say with 100% confidence, if I do not use my warm-up before shows, I can tell a drastic difference in my range, in my fatigue, in my performance. So it's something that I've used that warm up since I was probably 18, 19, maybe.
Somewhere along in there. You've been using it a lot.
It's been old faithful, and I use it every show we play. And it makes me feel more confident, because then if I want to get up there and just say, if we decide one night we want to open up with Favorite Shade of Red, I can come out of the gate once the bridge hits and just go for it, and know that I don't have to sing so many songs to get my vocals there. I can get up on the stage and just scream the first song if I want to. But yeah, that's my thing. I never really, I learned how to do it because I didn't have a choice, but I also tried to learn it the best I could, that I would be able to do the best that I can. But I'm interested to hear what John says, because we have totally different screaming methods. You know, John screams completely different than I do.
Oh yeah.
So John, if you want to take over and give your answer, then we'll bounce back to Casey and Macon.
I like to scream.
Perfect.
Nah, I'm obviously self-taught. I've been screaming since I was probably 15 or 16. I based a lot of my screaming techniques just listening to fucking like Slipknot and shit from an early age, which was probably not a good idea, but I was like Cody. I was into a lot of the early 2000s metalcore bands too. But I was also in chorus all 4 years of high school, so I learned how to use my diaphragm and everything like that. So I was also a singer too. So
well, see, too, I mean, our screaming wise, we had totally different influence. I mean, whenever you were listening to Slipknot and heavy stuff like that, you know, at that point in my time, you were listening to early Slipknot, and I'm listening to like MCR and the Used and stuff like that. So we're on.
I was listening to
bands like
that. You've always been more into like the heavier stuff.
You pulled off some of the Burt screams.
Yeah, I was listening to a lot of the heavier stuff too. Like I said, I was I was taking lessons in chorus too, so I was learning how to use my diaphragm. So that, in a way, subconsciously, that was probably helping me with my screams. And I was playing in bands that I was using screams and stuff too. So, but I've always been a screamer first, singer second. That's just, I've always liked that style of music. So bringing that into this band, doing the screams behind Cody has just been one way to help contribute to their sound. So,
and it's always been fun too, because I don't really push it out there that I scream a lot. I mean, in some of our like less screaming songs, I've got some accent screams that I'll just kind of sprinkle here and there just to kind of add an impact. But if you bust out a song like, say, our new one that we played, Bones, if you put that thing at the end of the set and people's like, oh my God, like I've had people to come up to me, they're like, I didn't know you could do that. Like I've had a lot of people coming to me and say, I didn't know you could do that. So, I mean, that's always cool. It's like the surprises, man. Just, again, the diversity and difference. Casey, you want to take it away?
I was forced into vocals against my will completely.
Didn't that happen after Macon quit the first time?
Pretty much. When Macon left, Cody's like, hey, I need some help, and you're going to do it.
And I love it because Casey, if you're ever there for a sound check, this is Casey's sound check. Check 1 2 check.
I give them my volume. That where
Check.
my voice is going to be, that's the volume they get.
Casey's a sleeper cell, though, bro. Whenever he screams, like it'll surprise the hell.
That's because Casey's got to match my screams.
Well, between that and like I actually am still studying and trying to learn how to do it. So like I watch a lot of tutorials from like Austin Dickey and Alex Terrible. Like that's where I'm trying to learn.
Hell yeah.
So like I don't kill myself.
Casey's like,
vocally.
Bear scream? Okay.
See, well, he's already at an advantage, though, because as a drummer, he can't trick himself into cupping the mic. So you're already better than most vocalists out there.
Yeah, instead of cupping the mic, I damn near, like, because I use a very small mic. Cody's pointed out, I'll damn near swallow the mic.
In my defense.
Hell yeah, you will.
Into my defense, a lot of my screams now, I can't cup the mic because I'm playing bass.
Also true. So it's made you get better, too.
And I'll be honest, I mean, I've always tried to respect as far as not cupping the mic, but I mean, I will say, and it's probably a big no-no, but there is certain times for certain parts where you need that effect. I won't say I do it all the time because I really try not to, but there's certain parts, certain songs where you need a little something.
I actually learned what cupping the mic does to the vocals. There's two things.
Pisses off the sound man.
Other than
it
that,
pisses off the sound man and it makes you sound like shit.
It causes more distortion in your vocals, and it causes it to sound lower to you.
Right.
Yeah.
You won't actually sound lower out front, but it makes you think you're sounding lower.
Like I said, I try not to do it a lot because that's just something we grew up kind of being forced. You know, me and Casey's dad, he's Animal at Hooligans, the modern man. He pretty much like said that was no from day one, so he kind of forced that.
He actually has a mic where he took the ball off and put nails sticking out in a full circle, so you can't do that.
The Mad Max microphone.
It's what it looks like.
Macon, how about your vocals, man? What do you think?
I started singing because nobody else wanted to. This was back when I was like 14, trying to put high school bands together.
That was only a couple years ago.
Anyway, I was a guitar player first, and I played for probably about 3 years before I started singing, and it just started out like playing like Nirvana or Green Day or The Offspring, stuff like that. I'm not really much of a screamer. I gotta say my screams probably the closest they'd be to is like Darren from System of a Down. Just that real, I don't want to say
shrill.
I don't want to say inconsistent, but like
shrill.
That shaky sound.
Mm.
You know, like think BYOB, that first opening scream.
That's actually a really good.
Yeah. A lot of people don't know this either, but I will die on this hill. Macon's a really good singer, dude. Macon is a really good singer.
We forced Macon to sing because none of us can sing as high as he can.
Macon has a really a nice natural high voice that he doesn't force too much. That is like the perfect voice for harmonies, dude. You were saying you're talking about consumer control. That that chorus that we have, me and
Mhm.
Macon laid down the sickest fucking harmonies on it, dude. And that's a really cool song because whenever we play it live on the chorus, me and Macon are singing it, doing the choruses, and then that post chorus part where it's got the screams for the words consume, control. Casey and John take that, so you see a little bit from everybody. But Macon's a killer singer, and I'm sure you saw at the Red Show the other night. He's also a fucking killer guitar player, dude.
Oh,
Macon's fucking
absolutely.
nasty on guitar. I don't care what anybody says.
It's such a great, not just like
Mayday,
personality
mayday.
wise, I think you guys are great, but musically you got, it's such a tight dynamic between you guys, because you both all four of you are really good at what you do, and to see it all come together live and in the studio was awesome. Especially like as a fan who's also from the same area, I take a lot of pride in where I'm from because I've lived here in Jacksonville my whole life. And to be surrounded by such a supportive local music scene, it's so cool to see like everyone like in their own bands come together to make such amazing music. And you guys especially, I love what you guys do. So with this new dynamic and this new era with John on bass and everything, I think it's really really exciting, and I'm probably just as pumped for the coming year as you guys are.
We're probably going to make some changes. We're actually as soon as we're done with this interview, it's kind of irrelevant because I know this interview is going to come out um, after tonight. Excuse me, but we're actually we try to have like monthly business meetings, and just to kind of discuss what we're planning on doing. But after we get done with this interview, we're actually going to have an extended meeting where we're actually going to everybody's going to kind of contribute their ideas to what they individually want to do next year, and we're basically going to try to write a loose plan on what we're wanting to do. But it's like you said, man. I mean, just everybody's dynamic is just fantastic with the band, and I mean that's taken nothing away from any of the former members that's been in the band, because I'm sure you've seen it, and I hope most everybody else has seen it. We're still in really good friends with everybody that's come through and did their time with the band. Chris, we love Chris to death. Shane, we love Shane. We had Josh in the band for a little while. Josh Reed played guitar with us for a brief stint. I mean, we're cool with all those guys. And being in a band it's a tough thing. I mean, you got to commit a lot of time to it, a lot of time and a lot of energy. And I mean, it's not cut out for everybody, but it doesn't mean so many bands, members will split up and they'll have bad blood and this, all this, that. I mean, there's no time for that. You're talking about the community, man. I mean, everybody's got everybody's back. One way or the other. Everybody tries to support everybody. There's so many amazing bands in Eastern North Carolina. I could sit here for an hour and tell you about the bands that I love, and there's so many across this whole state, man. There's just so many amazing bands in the state.
I swear you make everything sound so nice and positive all the time. I love it.
I fucking love what I do.
It's
bro.
because everything is
I
nice and
love what I
positive.
do too, but everybody asks me, how do you keep doing music? And I tell them the same answer every time. I'm not writing ahead.
We're a fucking community.
Well, that
God
actually,
damn it.
I got a question for you, Casey. So Cody kind of touched on it earlier that you guys all knew each other from high school except Macon because he wasn't born yet. Um, how so
Fetus.
so
Fetus.
how did the band come together? How did you guys get to wanting to start a band together?
Casey, take it away.
I
Man.
hate this question.
Take it away, man. You can probably give him a really
I really want-
consolidated.
You know what? I could probably give you the most consolidated answer of that at all.
I'd really like to know.
I actually think it was December of 2019, January of 2020, somewhere along in there. Cody messaged me and was like, "Hey, I want to get back into music, just to mess around, nothing serious." What y'all don't know is Cody does not have that ability. If he does something, it's gonna be serious.
Not me.
Kind of. So yeah, January we started writing songs. March ish we had found Macon. Somewhere along in there.
He was suggested by another bass player that we had that never played any shows with us before.
Yeah,
I think it was around March.
I reached out to Cody, and he said no.
He's too young, man.
And
Hey,
then he
legit-
got back up with me.
There was nobody
He was
else.
like,
No,
"Hey,
that's
man, so you
that,
wanna
that's
come play with us?"
that's a small part of it. So we had this guy named Matt Hardison, who stays close to where we're at here. I was friends with his girlfriend at the time, and he had been in some bands in the past. And I guess word kind of got out from his girlfriend at the time that, I was trying to start up a musical project. So he ended up hitting me up, and he ended up coming jamming with us. His name's Matt Harrison. He's an outstanding guy. He can play the shit out of bass. One of the best bass players I think I've heard around here. But he ended up suggesting Macon, and the only downside, he said, he's really young, man. He's, like 10 years younger than us.
You were like, what, 19, 18, 19 at the time?
Just turned 19.
So the age thing was concerning to me, not so much because of the experience. It's just a lot of the places we play, regardless whether you're in a band or not, they don't want any underage people in there for logistic purposes. And I get that. So initially I just went ahead and kind of was like, look, man, now's probably not the best time. And the main thing was his age. And I just kind of, he reached out to me, recommendation from Matt, who was playing with us at the time. And I was like, not right now, man. I just kind of made up some kind of
bullshit excuse.
Soft excuse.
Granted, at the time, I was starting a little band called Defile the Crown, and they were all the same. They were all the same age, and me and him were talking, and I was like, "Well, all my guys are kind of the same age, so just think about it." And he was like, "He's kind of young."
But no, I mean, Matt stayed with us, and we looked around a little bit, and there's not that many guitar players around here that are not in bands, and there's not really that many guitar players around here now anyway, And
also that don't want to play straight metal.
Yeah.
Most of them are more into metal.
But Matt was persistent, man. He's like, look, man, you need to give him a chance. You need to give him a chance. And Matt kind of stayed in my ear pretty hard about it. So I hit him back up, and I was like, all right, dude, let's see what you got. And he come out, and he impressed me, man. Like I said, if I was half as good as what he was then, I would be a whole lot better guitar player than what I'm a rhythm guitar player. And Macon used to say that he was a rhythm guitar player, but I don't care what he says. Dude is a fucking shredder.
You
bro.
A lead player.
He is a shredder. He blew me away, man. Some of the stuff he started writing, I mean, he wrote the solo to Break New Ground. That was like our second song we wrote. And I mean, he impressed me. I was like, should have got you on board the first time, dude. I'm sorry. I said, we'll have to figure out this whole age thing. I said, we'll just lie about your age.
The damn question.
He's a midget.
Cody.
Didn't I like?
He's got the Benjamin Button.
Didn't I like fire back at you whenever you denied me the first time? I was like, I don't think that's real cool, man.
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure you did.
Probably. I don't know.
Anyways, to continue that story.
That was a lie, though. I'd already had it in my head. I was like, I'm gonna tell everybody, but he's too young to be everybody. Nah, he's got the Benjamin Button, bro. He's got that. He ages.
I'm like
reverse.
70 years old.
Yeah, he's got Benjamin Button.
But yeah, to continue that story, we got Macon on board. Spent the rest of 2020 writing music, recording, not playing any shows at all.
Wonder why that was.
Fuck COVID. And yeah,
while I was getting canceled playing shows.
A little over 3 years later, we're here. That's still, even though like it routed back to you, that's the shortest that's ever been told.
Yeah, we got sidetracked. Sorry about that, Chris. Sometimes it happens like that, man.
That's why I do these interviews. I love tangents. So Macon, do you ever hold that over Cody's head? Like, do you guys ever get into arguments? Be like, well, if you would have accepted me the first time, we wouldn't be here right now.
It was on like a 3-week period.
No, he's bullshitting, dude. He gives me shit all the time.
It was
all the time.
Look, man. Look, I reached out, and then he said no, and then like a month later, he texts me back. He's like, "Hey, man, you want to come jam with us?" I'm like, "Sure." I ain't got nothing better to do.
Yeah, he's like, I ain't got nothing else better to do. Meanwhile, he's like having to wear some looser pants because it's getting a little tight down there. No, that was a big shout out to Matt, man. Matt was persistent about bringing Macon on board. And now, I mean, that was one of the best things that could have happened for the situation they were in. Because I mean, again, no dissing any of the other guitar players around here, but it's hard to hold a candle to Macon, man. He's really good.
He's a good fit.
He can come up with shit on the spot that's just like, I was like, how do you do it? I don't understand how you do it, man. It's crazy.
Like Casey said, I'm not right in the head.
Well, none of us are, but
are you really like a big music fan if you are right in the head? I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I agree with that sentiment.
I'm glad we're all in agreement on that. Yeah. Last question before the closing segment. You guys have a lot of irons in the fire right now. You guys are getting ready to get some of them finished this year for next year. And I'm sure there's a bunch of shows that you want to play in some way next year, certain bands you might want to play with if they're in the area. What are you guys most excited for this coming year with the, no pun intended, with the momentum that you guys have gotten this year? What are you most excited about in the coming year?
I see
I'll
what you
take this
did
one.
there.
I like that one. I'll take it. I am most excited to play new places, considering I have sent Cody a list of probably 30 different venues between 3 states.
It's got to be more than that at this point, dude.
Actually, yeah, I keep sending more. I come across them like that. He gave me homework, and I'm like, all right, bet.
I thought I did okay today. And Casey was like, "Nope, beat you to it." And I was like, "God damn it!"
Yeah. So for as far as next year, my personal take on things is that we've been out here grinding for the past 3 years, and we're, you know, using the term loosely, lack of a better term. I feel like we're getting a little bit of buzz, you know, starting to get at that point where people, if they know about their local bands in their area, if the band name To Begin Anew comes up, they're like, okay, I've heard about them, I've seen their name on a flyer or something, you know, something that like, okay, I've heard of these guys. We would try to like start playing, again, lack of a better term, like bigger shows, and we've been blessed with so many big shows this year, in my opinion. You know, we just a couple weeks ago we played with Red and Saul, and that was a freaking amazing show, dude. We had a ball.
Also, shout out to Saul.
Yeah,
I
the
love
guys
those
at
guys.
Saul are absolutely amazing human beings, dude. They're great musicians, and they are just some of the nicest people that we've met out on the road. But yeah, I mean, we want to kind of expand our horizons. We want to try to play more shows that count. I know all the shows count, but it would just be nice to kind of, you know, play more in
New places.
new places, and maybe some bigger, better places. You know, just try to expand our horizons and try to make some bigger things count. We're talking about potentially trying to set up a tour maybe for next year. You know, we're kind of working on some things on the back end with this little shorter, brief hiatus that we're taking, just a little time off. We got some things in motion with that, and I would honestly love to. I know we just got over a bad situation, but I would love to maybe hop on a festival or two next year as well.
That would be
Any of
dope.
you guys?
New goal, by the way, and more homework for me. Now I'm shooting for Georgia.
Okay, cool. Georgia's not that far away.
Dude, Rocktoberfest again would be great. Down
Yeah.
there at Havelock.
Yeah.
Oh, that was fun.
I know I wasn't there for the first one, but I'd love to do it for a second one.
Yeah.
There's some great memories of that place.
Festival would be cool. I've never played a festival.
Well, before I let you guys go, we have arrived to my favorite part of every interview, and it is a speed round. Now, we did this before. Some of the questions might sound
I
familiar
remember
because
this.
they're exactly the same, and I kept them the same because Macon, I know a lot of them for you were not applicable, but you've got some shows under your belt now, and with John, I've never done a speed round with you before, so this is the first. So I got 10 questions. You can elaborate as much as you want. You can keep it rapid fire, whatever you want to do. First question is your favorite song to play live.
Mine would be Trial by Fire.
Bones.
War.
I'll say right now for me, it's This Is War.
Favorite city to play in.
Charlotte's been really good to us.
Yeah, I'd go with
I mean,
Charlotte.
Jacksonville would be the obvious choice just because, you know, that's home.
Yeah.
But Charlotte, a few times we've been to Charlotte. Charlotte's been
Yeah,
really good to us.
Charlotte gets us with open arms.
Yeah, I was gonna say that too, Charlotte. That was great.
Obviously, like Cody said, Jacksonville's been home, but yeah, have to go with Charlotte.
Jacksonville's the GOAT, so it's really not it's not a fair answer.
Yeah.
The band, artist, or song that made you first want to become a musician.
I can say for me, and I try to give the same answer every time. There's three for me, and I think a lot of if I tell people this, a lot of times they're like, okay, that makes sense. Metallica, Black Album era, Nirvana's Nevermind era, and Green Day's Dookie era. Those three albums kind of, that's what really made me. I was like, I want to play guitar.
Bro. Yeah.
Prince, Fleetwood Mac, and Slipknot.
That is so great.
Metallica, Alice in Chains, and Iron Maiden.
Does it have to be 3?
No, man, you say what you want.
Okay, like I honestly, it's one memory for me being like, I think I was about 3 years old, and watching my dad's old band perform at a practice session. I don't know why, but that's when it clicked with me. It's like I want to play drums, and
Casey's like, humans can do that with
yeah,
things.
I wanted to play drums. Then I got a drum set for my birthday, and yeah, downhill from there.
The one band or artist that you want to collaborate with the most.
Seven Dust.
Seven Dust.
I'll say right now, probably. I mean, we're all huge fans of Seven Dust. I'd say for me right now, Seven Dust and or Alter Bridge.
Mm.
Does it have to be a big artist?
No, be anybody you want, bro.
It can be whoever you want.
I'd love to do a collaboration with Death Uriah.
Ooh,
That could be easily done.
Wait,
that could be done.
I'll throw one more out there just because I was actually talking to him about this, but Saul.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
I'd be
that'd be
down
really
for that.
cool.
Favorite tour memory.
We've never been on an official like tour. We've done what we call legs, where it's just maybe a few days in a row. But I will say our weekend in Blue Ridge, I will never forget it.
I don't know how we survived that weekend.
At one point in time, I know our time here is dwindling down, but we're actually in Vance's Boogaloo van, we call it, and we actually sent that with the trailer. We went over a railroad.
No, we didn't have the trailer at that time.
Okay, so
that was the acoustic
okay.
day. We took flight though.
Yeah, we went over what we didn't know was a very sharp inclined up railroad track, and I didn't know that a fully loaded van with like 6 asses in it could like completely Dukes a hazard across the fucking railroad track. Shit was insane, dude.
I'm sure there's a chunk of pavement missing where that hitch hit the ground.
That story flows together really well because now that I'm in the band, because we played together at that show. It was in Asheville.
No, this was at Blue Ridge.
That was at Blue Ridge.
Yeah,
but some shit.
The Asheville show. Oh no, we were on the getting back on to 40.
You almost died at that show.
And
too.
a car tried to cut off a tractor trailer. Car slams on brake. Truck slams on brakes. Chris like hits the brakes, swerves, trailer's fishtailing, cuts barely around the trailer, and then floors it to get between the car and the trailer without hitting somebody.
Yeah,
and is literally just screaming "Get some" the whole time.
Yeah, he channeled Dale Earnhardt, dude. I heard Flirting with Disaster playing whenever we were doing that shit. It was fucking crazy.
But my favorite would have to be our trip to South Carolina. The 4 of us. Like we had so much fun on that fucking trip. Just fucking.
I mean,
we experienced Buc-ee's on that trip.
Yeah, we did
together, and that's bonding experience right there.
Just having us all in a van, man, and that's John usually gives that answer. Just having the company of your peers and your brothers, and just enjoying your time with each other, and you get to go play a show to people, you know. But just being able to fucking cut up and just 4:00 in the morning singing Bohemian Rhapsody at the fucking top of your lungs, half-ass drunk, is just
Casey in the driver's seat, me in the passenger seat, Cody in between,
sitting on somebody's backpack.
John is the best radio person ever, by the way.
Yeah,
corn tea.
Also, we're gonna have to do an interview with like our 5th member sometime.
Oh, that could be right.
We need the boss lady right in the middle.
Yeah.
Yeah, we say that my wife Rachel, who always runs our merch table, she's unofficially our 5th member / manager. If it wasn't for her, we probably would be broke and wouldn't have shit.
Yeah, she's the boss lady, and she's in charge of all of this.
We'll have to jump her on one day.
I don't know if I've officially met her because I every time I've gone to your table, it's always like I'm talking to you guys. I might have seen her, but I don't.
Next time we see you, I'll introduce you, man.
I'll tell you what, just walk up to the table without saying who you are, and she will introduce herself and probably sell you something.
You'll be like, what the hell? I just bought a shirt.
Bet.
Like, I already have this shirt, but I bought another one.
Hell yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Speaking of, shout out at the new shirt if you guys haven't seen it.
Can you see my shirt, Chris?
Oh yeah, I love it. I've been looking at it this whole time.
It's a play on the NWO stuff, man. It says it's got TBA and it says To Begin Anew underneath it, and it looks just like the old school WWE NWO shirts.
That's what I thought it was a reference to. I wasn't sure.
They're awesome. I had to buy one. We got them. I was like, I got to have one.
Most embarrassing moment on stage.
Ooh, let me go
Cody go. Please let him go first.
Okay, so,
it's recent too.
Yeah, so Fortunately enough, it didn't happen on stage, but god damn it, it was close.
It was close.
So look, we were the last time we played Charlotte, we played with Scars Remained and Forever May Fall. Both of those guys are Charlotte-based bands. If you haven't heard them, you should definitely check them out. But we stopped a couple times, you know, use the bathroom, get some food. Everything was going great until it wasn't.
Until it wasn't.
So we get to the venue, we're loading in, and everything's fine. And, you know, it's getting close to, you know, sound check and time to go on. And, as John says, old Tum Tum got rumbling.
Old Tum Tum, son.
Bro,
Cody was fighting for his life that night.
Precursor to the story, though, me and Casey have told Cody stories about us shitting our pants at work.
Yeah.
And in other situations.
And I've always bragged. I was like, it's never happened to me.
It's never happened to me. I've never shit my pants. I don't think it's ever going to happen to me.
He's pushing his luck.
Bro, let me tell you, whenever I tell you that I went shit, dude.
It was
how many
clockwork. Every 10
10
to 15 minutes, he was running.
TMI, dude. But I know it was at least 15 times. It was to the point where I got the guys in an emergency meeting. I was like, look, I'm not going to fucking make it. I was like, either someone else is going to have to sing or either I'm going to pass away.
Macon was terrified. He was like shaking, scared he was going to have to sing.
I looked him in the eyes and I Tropic Thundered his ass. I said, survive.
It was bad, dude. Like, there was like multiple times where I was talking to them. I was like, got to go. And I'm like running.
Dude, that's another pick right there.
Yeah.
Whenever I'm like building relationships with other people in other bands while I'm sitting on the inside of the stall door and we're just having a casual conversation and the bottom is falling out, my brother, it's not a pleasant experience. Like, I will say, big shout out to Forever May Fall. I went into their green room. I was like, look, guys, I'm fighting for my fucking life right now. Does anybody have anything that can help my stomach? Because if not, there's a high chance I'm shitting on that stage tonight. And one of their crew that they had with them, they're like, bro, we got some Imodium. I was like, give me all of what you have, and I need to take it immediately. And yeah, big shout out Forever May Fall. Thank you for quite literally saving my ass that night.
Wait, just to add to the story,
he's dying in the bathroom. Me, him, and him are all in an emergency meeting. Three of us. Like, what songs do we need to take off the set?
So I was like second in command when it came to vocals. Just that fact alone, I thought I was going to shit my pants.
See, I'd already made a plan.
Megan's like, John, what song can you sing?
Behind the stage, there was like a little cut through where you could get to the other side. I was like, look, if things go bad, I can halfway get off the stage and shit my pants. So then maybe I won't have to embarrass myself in front of all of these people. Because, dude, whenever I tell you there was a lot of people there, bro, there was a bunch of people there. And the last thing I wanted to do was turn my black pants brown. So I had already made a plan to immediately exit literally stage right, and I was just going to lose everything I had.
I was going to say, Rachel was on watch.
You're going to have to just mind the smell. That's part of the show.
Rachel was on watch. She could see the whole stage, and if Cody ran off stage, she was to go backstage and take him pants.
I always carry extra clothes with me in my backpack in case of emergencies. I was like, look, today might be the day.
By the way, this is like
today might be the day. And I was like, whenever we're playing, if you see me get off stage, I was like, you better bring some stuff. And if you can find some baby wipes or something or a trash can, I need everything. Bring anything that you see that could be an asset to this.
We're going to start traveling with a 5-gallon bucket.
But we got up there, man, and everything kind of chilled out. And we had one of the best shows we played in a long time. But whenever I tell you that it was touch and go for a while, I grabbed Macon. I was like, you're going to have to step up. And I could see the fear in his eyes. I was like, it's either you sing it or me ruin my pants. And I can't.
After he told him that, he went to shit and Macon looked at me and he was like, the color left his face and he was like,
liquid paper.
He was like, bro.
Like I said, it made me feel like I was going to shit my pants.
Oh my God.
I was like, bro, I was a front man. You got this. We've got this.
But
and he's like, but I might shit myself.
But
he might.
But it still never happened though. So, haha.
Oh man,
don't talk just yet, bro.
You are playing with fate right now,
man. For like the first 3 songs,
you remember that scene in Hercules where they were cutting the strings for fate? You
man, for like the first 3 songs of that night, every time we finished,
Cody didn't move a whole lot.
Just like look over at him, like, you good?
Oh, dude,
good.
Whenever I felt that like a scream part was coming up, I was like, oh, here we go. Here we go.
Those old butt cheeks said, whoop.
Why is he standing like that while he's screaming? Why Why he looks so tight on the bottom half of his body?
Because it is tight, bitch.
Oh, gotta keep things in check, man. I ain't got no shame. I tell everybody a story.
Your turn, John.
Yeah, I can tell.
Most embarrassing on stage mishap, John.
On stage mishap?
Okay, well, that's kind of what his question was.
Yeah. Most embarrassing for you.
When we played in Wilmington about a month ago?
It's been a little longer than that.
Yeah, it was Reggie's. We got about halfway through the first song and I'm just fucking jamming my ass off, playing just as hard as I fucking can, and realized that my fucking bass wasn't on.
I forgot about that. John
I'm jamming
around.
just as hard as I fucking can. I'm like,
He did the same thing you used to do. He was using that rack mount tuner and he forgot to push the button all the way.
I was like, why is there no fucking sound coming out of my goddamn bass? Fuck.
I will say it could have been worse. I have been there, buddy. That's small potatoes.
You know what?
I was in dire straits for a good
Nobody
while.
noticed though, so I noticed, but nobody else noticed. So
most embarrassing on stage moment. Apparently wasn't that noticeable to anybody but me and Chris.
I'll let Cody tell the Waffle House thing.
But was at Blue Ridge when we played because I almost dropped a stick and almost completely ruined playing Favorite Shade of Red in front of a few thousand people. And Chris immediately called me out on it on stage. He just looks back like
Pants look.
and apparently it wasn't as noticeable as I thought it was by the recording, but it was definitely there.
Macon, you shit your pants?
No.
Okay.
But it's kind of a toss up. One show, I did the same thing you did. My wireless unit, I didn't have it plugged in for because we opened up with Awaken that night. It was the night we played with Sugar, the System of a Down.
So you
trip.
didn't
That
have
was
it plugged
hooligans.
into the guitar?
Yeah, he
Yeah.
forgot to plug the wireless in.
Well, I went to plug it in.
I remember that because nobody could hear you.
Yeah.
Me and
I went-
Casey looked at you.
I went to plug it in, and I guess I didn't hit it all the way. Like it didn't click, and it just fell out again, So I'm sitting there and I'm trying to plug that bitch in, and it won't go in. Fuck this. I'm
I
getting
hate it when
cable.
that happens.
Dude, I went through a whole ass song with no guitar. I think I went to the first half of the song with no guitar. I grabbed the cable, yanked it out of the back of the amp, and plugged in. Well, little did I realize I had the cable wrapped up around the casters on my cabinet. So I started walking, and the cable came unplugged.
Bruh.
Again.
I remember that part too.
Again,
And then
a show with a
after
lot of
that-
people.
after that, the second song we played, I didn't have it ran through the strap like you're supposed to keep it from going unplugged.
Rookie
Like if you
mistake.
stepped on it. Well, it was a desperate situation. I stepped on the cable and it came unplugged again.
Bruh.
And
You learned your lesson, didn't you?
yes, I did.
Megan says, so then I quit the band for the second time.
Dude, I was fighting for my life that night. I was like, why the fuck can't I hear myself?
So, well, how does the story with the Waffle House thing go?
Macon can probably give more details because I weren't there, but
No.
I mean, I was there. But so basically, there was this other band playing, and in between songs, they were like trying to hype everybody up, like, "Let me hear you make some noise. How's everybody feeling out there? Yeah, everybody's going crazy." And then we're talking about what we're going to do after we leave, and in between songs, they got everybody hyped up. They're getting ready to transition into the next song. It gets really quiet. Mind you, we're talking about food after the venue. John just out of nowhere is like, Waffle House.
No. This is how it went.
Okay, so we're gonna start all the way back over again.
No, I'll
Okay.
keep it
The
short.
details.
I'll keep it short. They said, make some noise for To Begin Anew. Go check out their merch table. And some girl stood up and she had a To Begin Anew shirt on that she got from that show.
Okay.
And you said, yeah, gas money. And John said, Waffle House.
It was awkward because people kind of looked at John.
Everyone got quiet.
Who didn't go to Waffle House with us that night?
John didn't.
That's true.
Damn it, John.
I didn't realize that.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Listen, I've went to Waffle House every other goddamn time.
Yeah, you skipped out on a couple of them, man.
I've never been to
I
a
was
Waffle
about- I was
House,
about
so I've never.
Bro. Hold on.
Wait, are you serious?
I've never been.
All right,
What?
next
You're
time
coming
you're
with
in our
us.
show, you're coming with
You're
us.
coming with us.
It's an experience.
This is not an invitation. This is a demand.
Hold on. I got
This is
do it now.
homework.
No, it was way louder than that.
No.
It wasn't even a whisper. Like
Bro, you
everyone
yell-
in there.
I can't
Waffle
do it in the mic. I can't do it.
Yeah,
in the
don't
mic.
do it in the mic.
Can't do it.
Yeah, every time you guys get loud, the interface is clipping like hell. It's just I've been like,
So I'm actually trying to focus on that and not yell into the mic.
But yeah, okay. So
sounds
here's the
good
plan.
here.
Next time that we have a show that you're able to come to, if we're in the vicinity of Waffle House, which is always, you're definitely coming with us, and you're going to be on our tab. So we'll get you everything, bro. We'll get you the eggs, the bakey, the sausage, the pancakes. You like chocolate chip in your pancakes?
Of course.
It's
Okay.
waffles, dude.
In all
Okay.
fairness,
It's waffles,
You
bro.
don't get pancakes.
You
there
haven't
too,
had
man?
you haven't experienced it until you've had the Texas steak bacon
no,
patty melt, bro.
no. It's
You
the
gotta-
all-star. It's
gotta
all
get-
about the all-star.
You got to get the all-star with the hash browns and the bacon.
You got to
Okay.
get cheese on the hash browns.
Yes, you do.
Yes, you do.
Your dream tour lineup.
I think we'll probably revert back to an earlier answer.
Saul
Metallica?
and Seven Dust.
Yeah.
I feel like the three bands, us, Saul, and Seven Dust, would be an amazing tour.
Yeah, I mean, I hanging out with them guys the other night. I would really, really love to do something with Saul in the future if opportunity presented himself. But as far as like dream band, I feel like our music would complement something with Seven Dust, and I mean that would be a long shot to say the least. But I mean, those two bands, that would be awesome.
I'll say against Saul, and if not possible, Seven Dust, then Non-Point.
Mm.
Damn, I didn't think about it. Non-point
Yeah.
would be a good
We've
one.
played a couple shows with Non-Point in the past, man, and they've always been
Stand-up
they've been
guys.
awesome, man. And those guys are super cool too, man. Everyone in that band is super chill, down to earth, really nice guys.
I'm gonna go in the other direction. I would say Saul and Adelita's Way.
Damn, I forgot about
Damn.
those guys.
We've played a few shows with Adelina's Way too, man, and they're really cool guys as well. We kind of anytime we've been lucky. I think we've played with Adelina's Way like what, maybe 4 times. We played like
three or four.
We ended up playing with them at Blue Ridge on an acoustic set where it was like us and them that day. We played with them like we played with them in
Hooligans.
Charlotte. We played with them in Jacksonville. I want to say there's one more time we played with them, but it's just been kind of funny. Every time they've kind of come to our area, our neck of the woods, we've just happened to get asked about the opportunity to hop on a bill with them, and we're always like, yes, it's like something that just has to happen at this point.
A place you haven't performed yet that you really want to.
I don't know if there's a particular place, but I would love to get out in the western part of the state a little bit more. If not, kind of get over towards Tennessee. I think Tennessee would be kind of cool. It seems kind of like the further away from the East Coast you get, it kind of gravitates a little bit towards our style of music. More of the East Coast is a bunch like heavier stuff than what we are. I mean, again, we have our elements where we can go there if we need to, but I would love just to kind of get in the western part of the state, if not try to explore like towards like Tennessee and maybe somewhere over that way, because everything we've been doing has been on the East Coast and surrounding states. It would just be nice to kind of work our way westward.
I got 2 venues I can think of that I've never played that I want to. One being House of Blues, Myrtle Beach.
That would be
That
cool.
would just be amazing.
Yeah.
The other one, I cannot remember the name of it for the likes of me. It's in Virginia. I sent it to you. It is a church that's been converted into a music venue, and just something about that I want to do. I don't know why.
I'll say House of Blues. That's a really good answer.
Yeah.
That would be cool.
That's just
That'd
a
be
goal
with-
venue. I've been there. Amazing shows, big place.
That would probably be for me. If that was to happen, that would probably be one of those moments like Blue Ridge for me. I'd probably put it in the same category.
Yeah.
Just to say we did it would be
I can
really cool.
rest now.
Yeah.
I think I'll shoot off 2 here. I think the Lincoln would be really nice, and the Lincoln and Raleigh, and the Ritz. The Ritz being that was the first like real music concert I'd ever been to. I went and seen Black Label Society and Corrosion of Conformity at the Ritz, and that was my first ever show.
I've never been to the Ritz.
It is a really nice place, dude.
I've been to the Lincoln, but
It is huge in there, man. It is really massive in there. Like, it doesn't look like much from the street, but you get in there, and then people start lining up, man. It gets kind of tight.
I said Lincoln's kind of the same way. It doesn't look big on the outside, and then you get in there and you're like, oh, okay,
Yeah,
here we are.
Lincoln's been around for a long time.
I pulled a double
I think the Ritz has
header
been a
there
while
one
for a while.
weekend.
I've heard of it, but I don't really know a whole lot about it.
Maybe we should talk to somebody about it.
We can
John?
always talk
I
about
don't think it's an
Um,
impossibility.
House of Blues definitely be one because I've been to a bunch of shows out there. The other one wouldn't necessarily be a new venue, but it's a venue that I played at when I was in high school. It got converted a couple times, but I heard they're trying to bring it back. It used to be Volume 11 back in the day.
Oh, it's Chapel of Bones Coffee now.
Yeah.
And yes, that would be great.
Where's
I
that
actually
at?
played it's in Raleigh. It was the Maywood was the
Oh,
last
okay.
name of it. I actually played there when it was Volume 11 years ago. And I did play one show there with an old band when it was the Maywood, and just a great place.
I was with you for that Volume 11 show, weren't I?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
We did 2 show there. I think we did 2.
Okay.
I played,
And then I played one with like a middle ground project.
I played one show there when it was Volume 11 with Against Their Will and Vegas Masquerade.
Holy shit, that was a long time ago.
That's a dope lineup too.
It was like with Against Their Will's original singer, like
Oh shit.
the
Oh,
heavy,
before Logan?
yeah, like the heavy set guy with the
Bro,
wore the kilt.
that's a long time ago.
We're so old.
Yeah, it was like
I'm not old.
It was like
except for Macon. He's
this
still
tells you how long ago it was. It was 2009. It was like right when I shaved my head.
I was
bald.
8.
How old are you now?
I was 8.
You're what, 20?
22.
22.
Holy shit.
I'm not going to say how many years I got on you, but
I know how many years you got on me.
a lot.
It was 4 Chambers. It was right after Kaylin joined back in the band.
Starting to get all the gray in our beards, and Macon's just now starting to grow a beard. But no, I was going to say that is one thing that Macon probably says is a benefit. And if I was in his situation, it'd be the same way. You know, with us doing this for as long as we have since we were 15 years old, roughly. A lot of things that he has questions about or he hasn't ever really experienced before. He's actually in a band with guys who have done it before. So we could actually kind of give him a lot of advice on how to handle certain situations, or if he's got questions, what should we do for this? Everybody has got different experiences. So we're able to kind of tell him how things will go without him actually having to go and learn how to do them, so that's probably one thing that's super beneficial to him.
Papa.
Why, John? That you see? Okay, wait, hang on.
Waffle House.
That's exactly how the Waffle House thing happened. Randomly, unexpected, served no purpose. It just fucking happens. Okay.
Right. It's gonna happen. You have 4 people in a band that are riddled with untreated ADHD.
He had made up his mind about that for a while. He had his hand talking ready. As soon as it got quiet, Papa, he was prepared for like 2.5 minutes, man.
Fucking killed him.
I don't fucking understand. Why did I decide to do this? God damn it.
Because you're not right in the head.
We've established this, Casey.
You tried to get out of it, and guess what?
It got right back.
Here
in
we
you.
are.
Waffle
You can't
House.
quit.
Oh my god. This is the best interview I've ever done. Holy shit.
You know what? It makes me feel good because it seems like every interview we've been doing lately, everyone
worse.
says that. They're like, this is the best interview I've ever done.
Oh man.
See, you guys are trying to commit career suicide. Cody's openly talking about shitting his pants all day long. And on that day, no fucks were given.
And then you got me and John that are just like, we're waiting for the day that it happens to you.
Yeah. And then Papa.
What question are we at?
I don't know.
It took a fucking hard left turn, a few answers.
We got 2 more. We got 2 more. Your favorite thing to do outside of music?
Waffle House.
Oh my god.
You know what, John? You're gonna have to start this one. Cody can't.
I'm lightheaded and my toes hurt. I don't know what that means.
Need some salt.
Oh! It's always best when it makes a full circle. Oh, John, take it away.
I wanted to wait till he took.
Jesus Christ.
You timed it perfect.
I think my lung turned inside out.
I think a little pee-pee got in my pants.
Oh god.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Outside of the band.
Outside of the band, honestly, doing the same shit that we're doing right now. getting together and hanging out with these fuckers and doing shit like this.
I can see why.
We'll get together and have parties and watch like wrestling, fucking wrestling events and shit. Just hanging out. We got together a couple weekends ago, played poker, and drank a little bit, and just had a good time.
I threw up in Cody's toilet.
As he does every time he comes to the
Well,
house.
in all fairness, you'd made it in the
Bro.
toilet, right, John?
Bro,
Yeah,
John threw up around the toilet.
there has not been one time that I've been at Cody's house.
I gotta tell the story about
There hasn't been one time I haven't been to Cody's house drunk that I haven't thrown up.
You know what? It's funny. It's became your house now instead of my house.
Hey.
It happens at.
Yeah.
Megan, what do you do outside of this
I'm a welder.
for fun?
Me and my girlfriend like cooking.
Me and my
I
girlfriend.
think I've heard
like
that
cooking.
story before. We were
Yeah.
actually really surprised to learn that you enjoy cooking.
Oh yeah, I love cooking.
I think that was the last interview we did was when
Yeah.
he said that.
Also,
I want to say
also-
that was his answer.
I'm also pretty good, like pretty big gamer too. But yeah, cooking and video games. That's pretty fun. Day
For some-
drinking.
My my life outside of this is actually even more interesting. I have two kids who keep my life interesting and entertained.
Casey's a good father and a good husband. So I'm not, no jokes aside, Casey's a really good dude.
He is.
It's an inspiration to see. Casey's the only one of the band that actually has kids, and it's an inspiration to see how good of a parent he is and be able to like juggle this band stuff too. So it's really cool.
It takes a lot. I'm gonna be honest. It takes a lot to juggle the two, but like my oldest, my son has been to a couple of our shows. He absolutely loves coming out. So I'm looking forward to my daughter being able to do that. I just don't think she's ready yet.
Casey is my dad.
Call me Poppy.
Am I the band dad?
Now, I'll say for me, Chris, again, my wife, Rachel, who usually 9 times out of 10 runs our merch table, me and her is very adventurous. We like traveling and going to like new places. As a matter of fact, her birthday is coming up later this year, and asked her what she wanted to do this year. And something me nor her have done, we're actually going to a Renaissance fair this year, and we're gonna like dress up in the part and everything.
He bought a sword and everything.
Yeah,
Swear to
dude,
God.
legit. I've got like battle armor and shit. It's really cool, and I'm looking forward to it. But we
You got chainmail.
no, it's too heavy, bro. It's not practical.
I'm just saying we got music videos to plan, and this is available now.
True. But yeah, we like to Skyrim. We like to travel and just kind of experience new places and new things, new experiences. We'll go off to the mountains sometimes. We'll go off to different beaches. Like I said, we're going to the Renaissance Fair. We find the most random stuff that we've never been to, and go try to do that while we're still youthful and able. And like I said, we don't have kids, so that's been a topic of recent discussion for her and I. So we figured that if there's anything we want to do, probably need to go ahead and try to do it before we decide to do that other thing. So
Try shitting on a nature trail.
that's also a story for another time.
That's on my to-do list.
I'm
Don't
surprised
do
they
it.
haven't done it yet.
Don't do it.
Don't tempt me.
And the last question, always my favorite one to ask. The song you wrote that means the most to you.
I'll say for me, mine's easy, and I think most people know. For me, it's Break New Ground. I wrote that song about overcoming addiction, and that's probably the song I've had the most people come up to me without even knowing the story of the song. They'll come up to me and say, "Hey, I really what you're singing and what that song's about really resonates with me." And they'll usually give me some background on their situation. And I was like, well, that makes it all worth it to me for people to come up and say, "Hey, words you wrote down on a paper and some 3-4 chords you wrote really drove that point home to me." So that it's always going to be Break New Ground, I think, for me.
Mine's actually changed recently. I don't write the lyrics, but Bones. It resonates with me because it
It's
says
in
it
my
like
bones.
for also it's in my bones. Like that's why I do this.
Yeah.
Probably Break New Ground. I've got a lot of family and friends who are active addicts, and they need some help. So that song, yeah, that one speaks miles to me.
A song that this band wrote that really resonates with me, is Candle in the Storm. But a song that I had part in writing that lyrically that I actually wrote would be Littered with Sins
Hmm.
from Defile. So,
Well, on that note, that was everything I had for you guys for this interview. I'm sure we'll be talking more off camera and at Hooligans. But was there any closing message that you had for any To Begin Anew fans watching?
We'll just say,
Get ready, shit's about to get weird.
we got some cool stuff coming. Don't really have a set time on when all this is gonna happen because we're still actively working on it. But just keep up with us on socials. You know, social media is kind of where you got to strive as far as being in a band. So we're active on all of them: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all of those things. We should probably be a little bit more active on Twitter, but Twitter's kind of going through that weird phase right now.
Yep.
But yeah, just any social medias you can think of, YouTube, Spotify, we're on all that stuff. But we do have a hub that you can go to kind of get everything. If you just go to tobeginanewmusic.com, anything that really means anything, we've got up there, such as our videos, pictures, biographies, EPK,
Links
all that
to
kind
everything
of
else.
stuff. So if you just go to our website, tobeginanewmusic.com, or just obviously we would appreciate all the ads on socials too, but you can get to our socials from our.com. So
it also links to our web store, and you
Yep.
know, if you can't
Online
see
merch
us
store.
live, you can go to our merch store and buy a shirt and support us. And
Yep. And we would appreciate any of that. I mean, you know, like we mentioned earlier, this is a expensive hobby at the very minimalist way of putting things.
We need Waffle House money.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, but any support like that, you know, merch, streaming music, buying anything from us, we really appreciate it, and we put that towards our future endeavors. So yeah, we appreciate everybody.
yeah, if you want to hear new music, buy our stuff.
Casey was basically like, with these two quarters
for 50 cents a day, you too.
Give me a camera in about 15 minutes. I will recreate that commercial for us.
Whoa.
Look, we can fucking dress making up like a little starving kid, like put a fly
just
on
5 cents
the
a day.
ball. That's fucked up. I went way too far. I am so sorry.
You can edit this out, right?
No, keep it in.
I'm keeping that. I'm keeping that part. Oh man,
Making me shake it. Yeah, be playing Sarah McLachlan in the background.
You have
Making
to.
me all skinny and
That
is
eyeball. Bro, that is what gets you into that
we could
commercial.
get Mick Bars. He'd be like, with these two quarters, you can stop Nikki Six. Be like, no, Mick, it's for the band. This is for our band. Oh, okay. Well, this quarter, Nikki Six. This quarter, the band.
50-50.
Yeah, I've got ideas. I've got campaigns running through.
Bro, this whole conversation just like triggered core
Yeah.
memories of mine. Like younger years, waking up in like the middle of the night, like 1-2 o'clock in the morning. You're either going to hear that Sarah McLachlan commercial or you're going to hear Michael Bolton.
Yeah, and like a mixed compilation CD.
One of the two is going to happen. And yeah.
I appreciate all the fans and everything for the support. Like Cody said, we got a lot of things coming down the pipe. And we just we look forward to everything that we've got coming. And we hope you guys stick around, and we're gonna be hitting the road hard.
Get ready.
Yeah, because we're coming hard and we're coming fast. God damn it.
They're going fast and they're going left, son. Real
fast. I will say, on a serious note, Chris, thank you for giving bands like us the opportunity to do things like this and kind of show our more serious side.
I'm going to say our less serious side. Let people get to know us.
Our more professional side? No, that's still wrong. That's very wrong.
Side, just
we're
a side.
children.
Yeah, but no, man, seriously, thank you so much. Thank you for letting us be a part of Dead Noise, man. Last time we talked to you, we had a ball talking to you, even though Macon was new, and you've outside of doing this, you're the same person bumping into a show just being a fan versus like doing something like this. So thank you for giving us the opportunity, and thank you for the support that you've given us, man. It doesn't go unnoticed. We really appreciate it, dude. Thank you so much.
Yeah, we appreciate it, brother.
Man, that means the world to me. So thank you for that. And I'm looking forward to seeing you guys again, probably sooner than later, because I might make it to that Earshot show.
For that little deal we gave you, we can't say it again, dude. We've already said it too much, bro. Waffle House.
It's gonna be a thing.
It's gonna be a thing. That's gonna be the first thing I do when I see you guys. Waffle House.
I'm gonna hold you to
It's
it.
a real thing now.
I'm gonna hold you to it.
Oh
Bro,
man.
got it.
But for real, guys, I really appreciate having you guys on again. The respect definitely goes both ways. I can't wait to do this again at some point because I'm sure we'll be bumping into each other again.
Anytime, man. Like I said, I don't want to keep like barking up the same tree, you know. But anytime you want to talk with us, man, the door's open. Hit us up, and we'll make it happen. Maybe whenever we release the next single, love to get back on with you with that, maybe.
Oh, for sure. Well, until then, to everyone watching this, thank you for watching. Till the next interview, stay tuned, stay scared, and I'll catch you later. See
Thanks,
you guys.
everybody.